Hello, welcome to episode 2 of Always Connected, where I talk about my job life and how I implement all the quantum field magic and Abraham Hicks techniques and everything, anything that soothes me, and tell you how miraculous everything went. And I invite you to just dare the experiment of getting yourself on the high flying disc as soon as you open your eyes. Your beautiful eyes that are shiny stars. And from that high flying disc, just introduce the topic of I'm going today to XYZ. I have to take the train, I have to interchange, all the logical things how to get there. And I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a fun ride. I have my music and I have my brekkie and I have my wellness and I love using all the items that I have and all the products and I love my apartment and I love everything, yeah? And this keeps me here and nourishes me with everything that I have manifested, and it shows me how magical appreciation is and the living in the moment. It's like being permanently connected to a feeling and experiencing of awesomeness. And with this connection to my inner being, to my divinity, to my happy-go-lucky feeling, what is not to be mistaken as only positive, this is far beyond positive. It is authenticity, it is coherence, it is clear seeing things like they are, without masquerades, without anything, without drama, and without euphemisms. This is it. And it's the best thing to think. So, okay, anything went perfectly because I primed myself like that and I had my reverberations connected to all the earth, 5 times as big as the universe. I love exaggerations because, hey, we are all God. Why not saying I'm connected to Mother Earth and I'm as broad and vast as 5 times the universe is and beyond? And from this perspective, I bombard anything and everything with love, light, appreciation, source consciousness, with ideas, with healing, with discoveries, with anything and everything that brings us into a golden future, like Diana Cooper would say it. Yeah, or into silver crystal millennium, like I would call it, or like a paradise on earth. Yeah, and so I had a conversation with a superior one, and I primed myself into I know exactly what to say, I know exactly how to behave, and I am freeing anyone, and especially the person, the human I'm meeting in this conversation. I'm freeing this human from any judgments, projections, quantum entanglements, and anything. And it was better than anything else that I have could imagine myself. It was like tingle tangle bob. It was eye level, professional and honest, cooperative. It was beyond anything that I have experienced so far. So this would be one technique that you may consider to try out in your personal life and in your job work life, just to free anyone and everyone from entanglement and judgment and let them be their authentic them, and you are the authentic you with clear eyes, not judgmental, nothing, yeah, and clear. Yeah. And my advice is when I started to be in that state. I had a hard time in finding the correct words of being precise, honest, authentic, coherent, and not out of naivety and out of angerness, judgy. Yeah. So respect is something that's important there, and speaking in an appropriate tempo, in an appropriate velocity, because then you have time to let higher being, higher self, higher consciousness to flow through you and guide your lips. That's perfect, because then you're always, on point. First miracle. Well, my whole day was a miracle, an accumulation of miracles, but the second is very important. It has been, the whole staff has met to partake in development of the office that I work in, to evolve on. And I hadn't gathered all information. I just have randomly picked someone whom I thought would give me the needed information, and then I would decide. So my first decision was based on resonating on the information that I gathered. Later on in the day, another colleague came to me, and she gave me more detailed information, and then my resonance swapped, and I went with that feeling. I just informed the other colleague that I have changed my decision. She said, this colleague said everything okay, and I went in the other group, and this group was nicer because I felt really more resonance with the ideas that I have in my heart and in my soul and in my magical brain for this group topic that there has been to be thought upon and gathered information and worked on. So then there were sub themes and subgroups that have formed themselves, and I was like, okay, I just let them do what they do, because I feel like this is a lot of movement, and I'm like, there will be time when there is more space for me to have a closer look. And I just sat there and I was like, okay, what can I do to be of the utmost efficiency and cooperation in this setting right now? And then I got inspiration, and I jolted, or I wrote some notes about things that I was given. And I was like, okay, so let's enhance until everything there has cooled down and I'm able to go to the board and look what to write and where to assign myself to. And then I was unsure, and I was like, I don't decide, I just go with the first, and I did something. And then a group formed, and I stood there because the theme they were speaking about was interesting to me. And then this group was then exactly the group that I ended up working with. And so I changed my decision again, following my coherent decision making. And it's a process. All this day has shown to me it's a process. And as soon as I have gathered enough information, which then changes the decision making or gives me a broader insight about what concrete there is available for me, then my resonance shifts. And it's completely okay to shift, to change, to swap. Because I'm like priming myself, I want to have the most miraculous day that is possible. And then when things reorganize in our collectively created and shared reality, then change is the necessity of all people partaking at a created situation together to be in tune and then to readjust. Because as we all know, it's very hard to please anyone when anyone just goes with his or her decision, and then no cooperation is there. So when groups build and more information is introduced and more detailed information is there that can then influence the building of groups or the connecting or the cooperation or the feeling of true resonance, then there is a cooperation that can soothe anyone at a particular level. Okay, so the other miracles were I was kind of blessing and infusing this group with my intentions. I was visualizing them like pillars of light, and I was like, please let me infuse my auric field with some useful frequencies or spells or geometric patterns or wishes or whatever, or intentions. It was like profitability for everyone, coming along, being productive, being effective, efficient, and bringing this project to the next logical and manageable step, concrete. And I was infusing me with that, and then I was like opening in my quantum field, like, and these informations are now available for everyone who chooses to access them and for whom it is accessible and who allows this. Okay, so it's free. It's like a cloud, yeah. So we all have collective shared auric fields, information fields. This all is intertwined in all the dimensions, higher dimensions. So it is available. A good analogy for this is the internet cloud. Yeah. So this is something that I use to exemplify how this all works, because somewhere the information is, yeah, it is in the quantum. So it is there, though you cannot see it. But I read today, this is an excursion, I read today that someone has created an experiment where a light particle or something like that was in the same time present in 37 dimensions. And it has shown that the quantum field is totally different than expected, and this opens up new possibilities and perspectives for using it, working on it, understanding it, blah, 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 blah. So this is very, very cool. Like by location, being at different spaces at the same time. What is not so far-fetched, because we all are doing it. As soon as you sit somewhere and you imagine to be somewhere, you are there with your consciousness, with your awareness that is in that field. Yeah, and what you believe is real in that field. And then you manifest it into this reality. Yeah, so it is just like a download. First, it is available in a different frequency or form, and then by it is here in this form, yeah, in this 3D form, and even in this reality we have got data and something like that. So things have been invented that can show us how that can be used as examples and allegories and pictures, metaphors for how things can be conceptualized at the higher, deeper quantum fields or dimensions. Yeah, but just analogies. Okay, so with the infusion of my field and making it open, accessible for the other participants, we had a real good flow. It was very productive. It was like everyone had something very important for their heart's desire. I could see it in their faces, how they lit up. It was like, okay, this is very effective and productive and authentic, and it served to adjust them in this situation in their own 0 point where they feel bliss. And this was nice because I was like, how can I establish this? How can I be someone who does that or enables that or can assist with that without telling them what to do, just by being me and doing all my magic stuff. And it worked out. And it was easy as breathing. Yes, this is my story for today about how a day can unfold when methods are applied that connect you with yourself and the quantum field, and how things can evolve when you apply strategies, strategien, methods that you use for yourself. Magic, yeah. And on my way home, I soaked up a little bit of the sun, solar flares, and solar energy, and I was talking with the elementals, and then I blessed the whole city. Yes, this is something that I love to do. Yeah, nice. Leave me a comment how, when, why, where, with which outcome you are using your multidimensional spiritual gift for the benefit of us all. Bye. See you next time.